بسم الله.
السلام عليكم.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
لا إله إلا الله سيدنا محمد
إن الحمد لله نحمده نستعينه ونستغفره ونسترشده نعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبد الله ورسوله وصفيه وخليله أرسله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره المشركون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا وبعد. My dear brothers and sisters, we are in the days of the Hijjah, the days of Al-Hajj, the days of Al-Hajj, the days of the Dhikr, the days of the Ta'ah, obedience, to learn the Ta'ah and to follow Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And none of us will get his full reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if he does not fulfill two things in his a'mal, in all his actions. in everything that he do, or he said, or he act, anything that the Muslim offer or act, missing one of those elements, his action will not be considered amalun salih. It will not be considered as a righteous or a good deed. Innahu amalun ghayru salih. Like, and this is why Imam Al-Fudayl ibn Iyad rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi said, إن العمل إذا كان خالصا ولم يكن صوابا لم يقبل. Al-amal, any action that has sincerity, good intention, good faith, but is not correct, that amal will not be accepted. And he said, وَإِذَا كَانَ صَوَابًا وَلَمْ يَكُنْ خَالِصًا لَمْ يُقْبَلْ. And if that amal, action, deeds, saying, whatever comes from you, if that action is sincere, with good faith, or is correct and is right, but without sincerity, that action will be rejected. It will be rejected and neglected, and you will not see the reward of your actions the day of judgment عند الله Ta'ala. Then they asked him, how come? He said, لم يقبل حتى يكون خالصا وصوابا. It will not be accepted, and it has both characteristics: sincere, honest, and sawab, correct. And he said, والخالص, and the sincere, إذا كان لله عز وجل. If you are doing it for the sake of Allah, not to show off, not to show how strong, how generous, who you are, nothing from this, only for the sake of Allah. And two, was-sawabu, and to be correct is to follow the path of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Those are the only two things that most of the scholars of Islam highlight, and they mentioned. And it's very clear, Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, before he passed away, he defined it clearly. And he set al-ma'alim, the guidance. No one can be misguided, and no one can be or can misunderstood Rasulullah. It's very clear. He knew alayhi salatu wasalam that he is not immortal. There is a death, there is a day that is coming, and that day is soon, is close. So he tried alayhi salatu to do his best to convey that message, to tell the people, hey, Allah left for you something called al-marji'iyya al-ulya, the most competent reference. Allah left for us, and Rasulullah defined it, and the Quran defined what is called the source of authority. You have no authority when Allah said something. You have no authority with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. First of all, check what they said, then add to it, or try to make it more, or add to more details. But first of all, check if you have what you are looking for. If you dispute over any item or anything, check what Allah said about it first of all. Check what Rasulullah said about it. If you don't know how to check, ask the people who knows. Then after that, there is no problem to add the hikmah and the wisdom and the knowledge and the details and technology to serve your purpose. Al-Quran and the Sunnah has to be followed. It's not the opposite. And this is why the scholar of Islam, some of them disagree even to open a large gate or door for the people who try to do tafsir for the Quran, which is called al-i'jaz al-Qur'ani. And then they look in the details, they look in the people's details, in the technology, in the science of the today, and they said, oh, this is exactly what Allah said 1400 years. They try to say, you know what, the technology is first, and then the Quran said it. No, Al-Quran should not be follower. Rasulullah should not be follower. He is the followed. We followed him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He govern our life. And this is exactly what the Nabi sallallahu highlighted. فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ حَتَّى يُحَكِّمُوكَ فِيمَا شَجَرَ بَيْنَهُمْ ثُمَّ لَا يَجِدُوا فِي أَنفُسِهِمْ حَرَجًا مِمَّا قَضَيْتَ وَيُسَلِّمُوا تَسْلِيمًا. No, but no, by the Lord, by your Lord, they can have no faith until they make your judge in all dispute between them and find in themselves no resistance. They have to find that in themselves. They have no resistance. They feel comfortable. No resistance against your decision and accept them with full submission. My dear brothers and sisters, this is part of La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. It's not soft subject. It's not something that we can let it, the last things, resolve, solution, and then, oh, what said the hadith, what said the Quran has, or Islam has an opinion here? Islam doesn't have an opinion. A lot of people, when they ask you, what is the opinion of Islam? Islam doesn't have an opinion, my dear brother and sister. Islam has Sharia. Sharia is not opinion. Opinion can be derived from al-hawa, from desire, from the wish, people's wish, what they like, what they dislike, what they say, their expertise. Islam has Sharia, legislation. This Sharia has no hawa. The hawa of the Sharia is the will of Allah. It has no hawa. The Sharia doesn't incline toward the rich or versus the poor, or the black versus the white, or the immigrant versus the indigenous. The Sharia is the one who set up, or the one who create all of what we see in this dunya. Sharia has no opinion. Sharia has Sharia. It's a law. It's a divine law. And the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was the person alayhi sallam who completed and made it in details and define it and clarify it for the people so they know what is the authority or the source of authority in Islam. فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. It's very clear, my dear brothers and sisters. وَمَا كَانَ لِمُؤْمِنٍ وَلَا لِمُؤْمِنَةٍ وَمَا كَانَ لِمُؤْمِنٍ وَلَا مُؤْمِنَةٍ إِذَا قَضَى اللَّهُ وَرَسُولُهُ أَمْرًا أن يكون لهم الخيرة من أمرهم ومن يعص الله ورسوله فقد ضل ضلالا بعيدا. It is not for a believer, man or woman, when Allah and His Messenger have decreed a matter that they should have any option in that decision. It's very clear. This is the first thing Al-Hajj will learn when he goes to the pilgrimage. This is the first thing. People think that this concept of authority, it's something that is after. This is the essence of al-ibadah. And this is the essence of al-ma'asiyah. This is why Iblis was called Iblis. Ablasah. Ablasahu Allah. He sent him out of his rahmah. This is the essence of La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. To accept and to feel that comfort in your heart when Allah said it or when Rasulullah said it. This comes first. Then, if you want more details or more something or to fit in your environment, look for those things. But first of all, ask about your deen. ما كان لمؤمن ولا مؤمنة فإن تنازعتم في شيء فردوه إلى الله والرسول إن كنتم تؤمنون بالله واليوم الآخر. And if you differ in anything amongst yourselves, refer it to Allah and His Messenger if you believe in Allah and in the last day. It's very clear. And the scholar, they said, defer it to Allah, to His Kitab. And defer it to Rasulullah in his life, to him sallallahu alaihi wasallam. After his death, to his sunnah, his path, his guidance, his advice, his ahadith. What the scholar said about that things and the way they understood it from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Everything is clear. And this is exactly what the Sahaba understood. And this is why in Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam one day he was upset. And he shows that unsatisfaction about with Umar radiallahu anhu. He saw Sayyidina Umar with all his jalala radiallahu ta'ala anhu and the respect for Umar. He saw him in his hand having a Torah or maybe a Talmud. There is no Torah Musa today. Even at the time of Rasulullah, there is no Torah Musa. And what they fabricate after, what they made after that. He saw that piece of Talmud in his hand, radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. He did not ask him and he said, Ya Umar, amutahawwikuna fiha ya ibn al-Khattab. Amutahawwikun. Are you guys confused? Are you guys uncertain? You're looking for a solution and you have Kitab Allah and Sunnah Rasulullah. You can put all the rest of the entire world in that Torah or Talmud. And you have the other part, Kitab Allah and Sunnat Rasulullah. You can put anything in that because it will fit in the other side. أمتهوكون أنتم يا ابن الخطاب والذي نفسي بيده لقد جئتكم بها بيضاء نقية لا تسألوهم عن شيء فيخبروكم بحق فتكذبوا أو بباطل فتصدقوا والذي نفسي بيده لو أن موسى كان حيا ما وسعه إلا أن يتبعني. You will ask them for the things and maybe it's true and you don't believe in it, or they may give you something, maybe it's wrong and you will believe in it. In both sides you will be confused. I left for you something which is bayda'a naqiya, clear as crystal. Kitab Allah and Sunnat Muhammadin. And if Musa is in life today, he has no other option except to follow Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He will not follow him with the Sharia of Bani Israel. He will not follow him with the Torah that Allah revealed into him. He will follow him with Shari'at Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. A lot of people talk about Jesus and Isa, the one who has an Injil before, but only a few people who talk about Isa who will come before the day of judgment. It's not the same Isa that is before. Isa that is before with a lot of love and gentleness and kindness, and Isa who will come after is not the same person. He's the man who will kill Ad-Dajjal and he will destroy As-Salib and he will do. This is why people they don't want to talk about Jesus, Isa, when he will come. Alayhi salatu wassalam. And even with the Injil in his hand, even it was revealed to him al-Injil, he will not come to follow al-Injil. He will come to follow Shari'at Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he will pray behind one of the followers of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in their prayer. He will not even lead the salat. He will follow one of the followers of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is Isa and Musa and all the Anbiya. Rasulullah is the Imam of all al-Anbiya. We leave al-Imam and his ta'alim and we look for other stuff here and there. And then the last thing we check about, what Islam said about. أَلَا أَيُّهَا النَّاسُ Rasulullah said, "Oh people, فَإِنَّمَا أَنَا بَشَرٌ I'm only a human being. يُوشَكُ أَنْ يَأْتِيَ رَسُولُ رَبِّي فَأُجِيبُ It's a time where the Rasul is coming from my Lord and I will answer. He will pass away. وَأَنَا تَارِكٌ فِيكُمْ ثَقَلَيْنِ I left a heavy trust, amana, for you. Kitab Allah. أولهما كتاب الله, the book of Allah. In it you have al-huda wal-nur. You have the guidance, the full, complete guidance and the light. And the sunnah of Rasulullah. فَخُذُوا بِكِتَابِ اللَّهِ وَاسْتَمْسِكُوا بِهِ Stick and hold Kitab Allah. And try to understand Kitab Allah and follow Ta'alim Allah, because this is the only. Then he said alayhi salatu wassalam, وَأَنْتُمْ تُسْأَلُونَ عَنِي Allah will ask you about me, what you will say to him. The Sahaba they said, فَمَا أَنْتُمْ قَائِلُونَ What will be your answer? They said, نَشْهَدُ أَنَّكَ قَدْ بَلَّغْتُ We be witness that you commit or you convey the message, وَأَدَّيْتَ and you fulfill your commitment, وَنَصَحْتَ and you give us a full, complete advice in this dunya. This is what Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum said. When someone asked about the Hajj at that time, they said, hey, don't give the answer. Wait until Al-Fadl ibn Abbas comes. He was Radifa Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Nabi as-salam made him his Radif. Always, every time, most of the time when Nabi travel or go to any place, he has someone behind. He give him a ride. Not for the sake of free ride, but to teach the people what he saw with the Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Abdullah ibn Zubayr was one of those people. Al-Fadl ibn Abbas was one of them, and they were young. And the Nabi as-salam, intentionally he shows the young people or among Sahaba to have enough time and enough life to teach the Sahaba. They said, يُخْبِرُنَا صَاحِبُنَا بِمَا صَنَعَ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم. Let صاحبنا tell us what did the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was with him. Look the adab of Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum. Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, one day, he stand in the Hajj and he was istalam al-Hajar al-Aswad. He touched al-Hajar al-Aswad, and the first thing he said, Ya Hajar, wallahi I know, oh stone, wallahi I know that you don't give any benefit. La tadurru wa la tanfa. You don't harm, you don't give benefit. وَلَوْلَا أَنِّي رَأَيْتُ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ. If I didn't see Rasulullah kissing you, I will not kiss you, nor touching you. It was very clear for Sahaba radiallahu anhum. And one day he was asking, and he answered himself in front of the Sahaba. Maybe it's his way radiallahu anhu to teach the Sahaba around him. He was saying, why now we do al-ramal and al-irtida'? There is no need for that. Al-ramal, when you do a tawaf in one certain place, you do it with a little bit speed, then you walk. Then in the first 3 shawt, this is what you do. And why Nabi said, tell Sahaba to do? Because he said that Sahaba at the time of Hijrah, when they went the first time to Al-Kaaba, the Qurashiyin or the idolists, they were saying, oh, Sahaba or the followers of Muhammad are exhausted and they are weak. Let's watch them. And Nabi Hassan knew about it. So he told them, Rahim Allahu man arahum quwwata nafsi. May Allah have mercy for someone who shows them the strength of the believer. Even it was hard, all that travel and but when they do the tawaf, they show that, hey, we're still here. And we are strong enough to defend ourselves and to defend our religion. So after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala thabbat al-Islam and the Ummah al-Islam becomes strong and millions or thousands of Muslims come, so there is no need to show others. Then Umar answered, he said, وَقَدْ أَطَعَ اللَّهُ الْإِسْلَامِ وَنَفَى الْكُفْرَ وَأَهْلَهُ. There is no kafir making naked tawaf. So what's the need? Then he said, وَمَعَ ذَلِكَ, we will not leave any small details. Rasulullah used to do it. This is al-ittibā'. He questioned people and then he answered them. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, one day he was in Mecca doing the Hajj, and those are the lesson of the Hajj. And Muawiyah radiallahu anhu was the Khalifa. So istalama, the only sunnah is that we nastalim al-ruknain. Al-rukn al-yamani and then al-rukn where there is the stone, the black stone. You touch those arkan. The rest, al-rukn al-shami and those corner, it's not from the sunnah to touch them. So Muawiyah was touching them, and he was the Khalifa of the Muslim. And then Ibn Abbas, he said, why you are touching all the arkan? We should touch only al-rukn al-yamani and al-hajar al-aswad. That's minimum. He said, there is nothing, he said, لَيْسَ مِنَ الْبَيْتِ شَيْئًا مَهْجُورًا. There's nothing from the bayt which you have to neglect. Everything is important. This is the answer of Muawiyah radiallahu anhu. What Ibn Abbas' answer was, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. One word. Indeed, in the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you have a good example to follow. One word. He said, Sadaqta. That's true. What you told me, that's true. There's nothing from the Kaaba is neglected or has less importance, but what Nabi's, the way Nabi settled it, or the one that has defined, that is the correct and full, complete version of Al-Hajj. And he dropped what he was doing and he followed Ibn Abbas' advice. One day Ali ibn Abi Talib, he went to Al-Hajar al-Aswad, and look what he said. He said, Allahumma ya Allah, imanan bika. I believe in you. And I don't believe in that black stone. Imanan bika la bil hajar. Wa tasdiqan bi kitabika la bil khurafa. And I believe in your book, I don't believe in the superstition. وَوَفَاءً بِعَهْدِكَ, and I'm committed to your covenant. لا بعهد غيرك, not other covenant. وَاتِّبَاعًا لِسُنَّةِ نَبِيِّكَ مُحَمَّدٍ صلى الله عليه وسلم لا سُنَّةَ سِوَاهِ. And I'm following your sunnah, Ya Rasulullah, and not the sunnah of other people who are coming or before you. It was very clear, understood among Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum. This is why today maybe there is a lot of dispute, there is a lot of said about Mecca al-Mukarramah today or Medina al-Munawwara. People are saying, why the masjid or the bayt of Rasulullah becomes maktaba, a library, and this is where Nabi spent most of his time. The another place where Nabi 24 years the Quran was revealed in that place behind the Jabal of al-Marwa. Another place where Rasulullah went into with al-Buraq from Mecca al-Mukarramah to Masjid al-Aqsa, all those places are hidden today. Some people, they say, why they are erasing those places, and this is the history of Rasulullah, and other people, they are right. Because I was watching one day following, and I saw women and some people coming. Yes, we all love Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but following his sunnah is more important than following your whims and wishes and love. And she was praying toward that, in that place, in the opposite direction of the Qibla, just to pray and do tamassuh and barakah for the place from where Rasulullah went from Mecca to Bayt al-Maqdis. And this is why they have a right to hide those places. Because if you open those places, it becomes ma'bad, it becomes mazar. And sunnah to Rasulullah is more important than anything in our life. لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. And here, I want just to, clarify and make sure that we understand that at-ta'ah, obedience, and knowing the authority of al-Kitab and the Sunnah is part of La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. And the cause of revelation, like Imam Ibn Kathir in his tafsir said, that Az-Zubayr ibn al-Awwam radiallahu anhu, he was in dispute with another person from Al-Ansar. There is a water passing by Zubayr ibn al-Awwam, and that water, maybe it's the well, it's free well, but in the past that water was coming to that Ansari. So when Zubayr ibn al-Awwam settled his house, so he needed water to, water or, to irrigate his garden or whatever he has. So he didn't block, he used it. That Ansari didn't like it. And he told Zubayr, leave the water, means don't use the water. Leave him even if he passed through your home, through your garden, through your place, but do not use it. Then both went to Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told Zubayr, he said, yes Zubayr, use as needed and leave the water to pass and to go to your neighbor. Then that guy in Ansari, he said, Ya Rasulullah, an kana ibn ammatik, because he's your cousin. You are saying this because he's your cousin. He came from Mecca. This is what the people do today. For the first thing, they will accuse you because he's Arabi like you, he's African American like you, he has the same language, the same tongue. The first thing, we leave Kitab Allah and we start arguing and bringing the Jahiliyyah in between. When Nabi Asam heard that answer, he said, Ya Zubayr, take the water and use it until it's full and you are done. The water gets almost up to the trunk, and then leave it to your neighbor. He gave him his full right. And then Allah revealed this ayah, فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ حَتَّى يُحَكِّمُوكَ فِي مَا شَجَرَ بَيْنَهُمْ ثُمَّ لَا يَجِدُوا فِي أَنفُسِهِمْ حَرَجًا مِمَّا قَضَيْتَ وَيُسَلِّمُوا تَسْلِيمًا. The ayah I already mentioned. And another story that bring the cause of revelation, and the scholar of tafsir, they mentioned both of them, and Allah revealed one ayah. Nabi Assalam was a judge between two Sahaba. And suddenly, they said, Nabi Assalam gave his judgment, and of course, he gave the right for someone, and he blamed the other one, depending on that judgment. They didn't mention the detail. So that one of them, he said, Ya Rasulullah, can we have another judge like Umar ibn al-Khattab? Can we go to Umar ibn al-Khattab? Nabi Asam, he said, Intaliqa ilayh, go to him. Another way, that he did not accept the judgment of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They went to Umar ibn al-Khattab, and one of them, he said, Ya Umar, qada li Rasulullah ala hada. Rasulullah, he gave me and he did not give, and we went to him. Then he asked him if we can go to you, so you will be our judge. He said to Umar, is this what happened? They said, yes. He said, just give me 1 second. He went to his home and he came back and he brought his sword. He almost killed him. Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anh. And the other one, when he saw his friend almost be killed, he ran away. And he went to Nabi, said, Ya Rasulullah, he is almost, if I didn't run, he will kill me with my sahib, with my friend. Then Nabi he said, I never thought that Umar will do this. And then Allah revealed the same ayah, فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ حتى يحكموك فيما شجر بينهم ثم لا يجدوا في أنفسهم حرجا مما قضيت ويسلموا تسليما. I mean, I'm mentioning those details not for fun or for make people laughing, but just to remember, to remind everybody how many times we are neglecting and sometimes rejecting and sometimes ignoring